in Dojo, cheap Japanese restaurant in Manhattan. And like I walked in and we sit down and he's like, Sykes, we've only walked like 30 feet and you've already fallen in love with like 6 waitresses. And I'm like, that fits it right there, man. It's like your mind grasps from object to object, and it's just it doesn't end. I think I'm a lot better. No, but oh yeah. Let's see, the suffering of your mind going on, always wanting more. The suffering of having to. It's just these are all elaborations on change, no stability, the suffering of change. It's like you don't know one day. I mean, corporate America is very good for this. One day your company could be they're looking very good in the NASDAQ or the Dow, and then the next day you're all out of a job, you're all looking for work, and you're cashing in all your stocks, or you're near bankrupt, and that's it's like the bubble, the computer stock bubble of the 90s. A lot of people lost their or were taken to the cleaners. The scandals, like there's no certainty between high and low status in this life. And then there's the problem of having to lose this body from life to life to life. You spend your life. I mean, I don't really take care of much of this body, but I started to get like sagging parts here and there, and I was like, well, I better start working out in the gym. So I'm like working out in the gym, trying to eat right. And it's like we cherish this body all our life. Some people go to extremes. I got to get the right hair stuff. I got to get the right this. I got to go get some nip and tuck. I got to eat the best food. I got to get not only brown rice, but brown rice grown in the foothills of whatever, by the simple people, organic, whatever, to take care of this. This body you will lose like a dirty t-shirt. Don't grasp to it. Don't hold on. It's this hunk of meat you will lose. We spend our lives thinking about how to take care of this meat sack. And you will lose it. Rinpoche used to say, your shirt will go looking for a new owner. Meaning that you don't know when you're going to die. And at the time of death, the only thing of any kind of benefit is your realization, your spiritual practice. That's the only. You don't know when you're going to die. You definitely know death will come. And at that time, the only thing that's worth a damn is spiritual realizations and your practice. There's a Tibetan, there's many Tibetan practices for poa. It's like a Tibetan practice for shooting your consciousness into a higher realm when you die. There's very elaborate rituals. And, Rinpoche used to say, well, if you're not practicing that all your life in meditation, you're crazy if you think you're going to, say a ritual at the time of death and think that, your mind's pretty much on autopilot. The next impure karma that arises is going to take you to the bardo of the next life. But Rinpoche said more importantly that you should be, you want to know the greatest poet is to just be cherishing beings, just have that great compassion as you pass. That's real poet. Have a good realization of emptiness. That's the best thing you can have at a time of death. In this society, it's like it's hidden or something. It's like anesthetized. It's like nobody really. Death is really sort of hidden away somewhere. They passed. Funeral home there, and they fill you full of some sort of chemicals or whatever. They put you in a box somewhere. It's kind of hidden, but it's coming, and you don't know when. And I think we all tend to go through our lives thinking that, well, no, I have 20 more years, and that's a big obstacle for your spiritual practice. And there's the problem of going through life, and that's I'm not pushing that belief on you, although it's something eventually you sort of have to get to do the Buddhist practice properly. But the simple blurb, Master Dharmakirti in the Pramanavartika said, listen, mind, consciousness, base awareness that is clear and knowing isn't like physical stuff. Your body comes from mommy and daddy and semen and ovum and whatever, and the bits and parts of fleshy things. Your mind, your consciousness doesn't come, the gross physical matter is not a material cause for mind. Mind comes from mind. You chop it down into sequences of time sequences. The previous moment of mind created the mind that you have now. Before you came to this class, you maybe had a mind where you're hanging out at the coffee shop, or at a disco, or having dinner, or stuck in class, or hanging around the house, or driving in your car, and you have a memory of that awareness. And then now you have the awareness of this room. Westerners accept this in principle. Often they will try to argue it's all chemicals. But you send a kid to kindergarten, mommy sends little Johnny to kindergarten, hoping that 30 years later, the kid's going to be able to, be a doctor. All of the seeds that the kid puts in his mind throughout his entire life will hopefully ripen in teaching, like PhD in some kind of very niche medical practice, something that's really in demand, and so that she can take care of, the kid can take care of the parents as they retire. So we accept that the mind can be filled up with impression seeds. So Master Dharmakirti says that, this is the Buddhist conception of a continuum of consciousness. And various movements of the mind in, the Abhidharma Kosha, chapter 4,